a member of my staff goes sick, leaves the company, or decides for whatever reason that they're not so interested in software, I'm in trouble. Today I'm travelling to see a company in the environmental sector. They're quite a big company, 50 employees, do quite a lot of public sector work, large contracts, and have quite a big depot, obviously, to be able to do that. I'll be meeting their marketing manager, and I've met him a few times, and the leaders of the company. I really enjoy working with this company because they're very old school, very direct, very, what's the word? Well, not blunt, but you know where you stand, and I like that. I respect that a lot in business. Hope I bring some of that when I go and see other people. So it's always a challenging meeting, but always worthwhile. And why I'm meeting their sales and marketing manager is to try and raise brand awareness of their retail arm. They're very good at the traditional type servicing element of their environmental company, but in terms of retail, and they have a massive opportunity for national retail of goods. I think the general perception is that that takes second fiddle to the core business, and it shouldn't. Margins are higher in retail. So they're asking me to come along and create or work with them to develop a marketing system. The difference between a marketing function and a system is the system runs by itself. That means we don't have to recreate everything all the time, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, we don't waste time and money. There is a set process that we follow every single month which communicates en masse with the target audience. That's why I'm going. I've had a few meetings with them about setting up the system. Some of it's in place, some of it's not. I'm expecting to talk about email marketing specifically as one component today. But, as I always say, I don't actually know what will happen. I'll update you later. Just finished the meeting, and it was varied. Okay, the first thing we talked about was what I expected. So we discussed email marketing and quality of data. I'm trying to import a database we bought of emails, and it's MailChimp actually. It's having some issues with the quality, so we found a way to get round that so that we can send out some communication to some businesses. And we then talked about localized marketing and how to surround a customer. By surround a customer, I mean that if there's anybody within 5-mile radius of where we're located, they haven't got a choice. We batter them with communication until they're brand aware. And we said brand awareness is very difficult from being aware of a brand. If you see what I mean, the difference is if I send you a leaflet, you look at it, then you're aware of it. Being awareness is I didn't send you anything, it's embedded in you. Next time you have a requirement for what we sell, you don't look, because you have awareness in the sky, really. The first name you think of is our business. That's real brand awareness, and you don't get that with one communication. We talk about leaflet drops and how 5,000 leaflets had been given out on a set day and it hadn't worked. Well, no. I think on that particular day you had people who were aware of your brand, but brand awareness, no, because they would have gone home. Well, they probably wouldn't even got home. We said, they probably threw it in the bin when they got to the end of the road. But my point is, that's not good enough. I need to do it again and again. And, preferably 6 or 7 times before it sinks in. Which brings us on to the second element of how I surround a customer with my brand. We talked about Facebook ads. Facebook ads are so underestimated. Now, do I get business from a Facebook ad? Yeah, I know lots of companies have quadrupled their turnover with a Facebook ad. Normally offering something, click here, I'll send you a free brochure. But nevertheless, real examples, companies have quadrupled their turnover in a year just using Facebook ads. How we would use it in localized marketing is I'll just show a link to my Facebook page with a photo to people who live in a 5-mile radius of where we are. You can do that on Facebook. It's the most sophisticated database, mainly due to spying, in the world. You know, real time. It will tell me what people like. And like means you've looked at pages to do with my topic. Fantastic. It's not a random ad. It doesn't appear on a sign, on a lamppost and everybody sees it. It says, just show my brand to people who live in a 5-mile radius of here who are interested in green products. You can do that. And we do promote a post. You wouldn't, I can promote some content to just those people. And what I'm trying to get is people to like me. So that's the first thing. We run a permanent Facebook ad every single day. I think we don't spend much, that's $5 a day, and we don't even notice it. And every day, people click this thing all day. Fantastic, I'll communicate with you later. So that's the second element. The third element is Google+. If I'm targeting a local market, I need to come up on Google on page 1 for local searches. Now, I've talked about local search in another video, but Google+ is how you do that. If I index my Google+ and say, we're the company who sell these products in, I don't know, Taunton, then if someone puts that search into Google, Google shows me top as a local provider on the map. So that's the third element. And then the fourth element is general PR. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to run a system every single month where you cannot fail but to see my brand again and again and again and again. That's how it becomes embedded in your consciousness. And the 4 cornerstones of that for me are email marketing to the local area, door-to-door leaflet drop, and I mean blanket drop, Facebook ads online so that anybody on Facebook in the area sees me, and some PR. PR might mean a small ad in the parish magazine, or it might be an article. You cannot get away from me in that scenario. I'm in your visibility to the extreme. And we do that for a 3-month period, and our brand is embedded, and it lasts a long time. People don't forget when they've seen things 7 times. It's in their minds for, a good year. So we did that part, and we set up a system of sorts where they would follow this process every month. And early stages, but second meeting it'll be done and dusted, and they'll be able to implement it. The cost of all that activity, I don't know, a budget of maybe £500, £1,000 at a push. That's to communicate multiple times with 10,000 potential customers. That's not a bad return, I don't think. So that was fine. And then, as always happens, another topic came up. The business owner, one of the directors, walked in at the end of the meeting and said, I just want an independent opinion. We get asked that a lot. I think that's part of the power of hopefully what business support is. And he said, I'm thinking of changing the business model slightly. I would like an opinion because I want to implement won't call it SAP or EMS, but a database system which is integrated. It will integrate CRM. It will sell on online platforms. It will monitor stock. It will do the invoicing. And the question to me was, should I design a bespoke version in-house, or should I use something off the shelf from an established provider? And in that scenario, you can only give an opinion. By that I mean there's no right or wrong answer. Both are valid in different situations. What I said to him was, if it was me, and it isn't, it's not my risk, it's not my company, it's not my money, but if it was me, then I would use an outside provider, because when you're in a 7-figure turnover and you're trying to go up to an 8-figure turnover, that is going to put intolerable pressure on the company in terms of fulfillment, delivering orders, meeting customer inquiries. It's also going to put intolerable pressure on the company from a cash perspective. You need to have systems in place which can manage this. And anyone will say, rapid growing companies don't fail because they don't make profits. They fail because they run out of cash or they don't keep their customers happy. So my instinct as an entrepreneur is to focus on 3 things. They are scalability. Any software package must be able to grow with me. That means I don't want to redesign it every year with a bespoke design. I want something that gets developed continuously outside my influence. Software companies constantly invest in making their products better. I don't pay for that improvement, I'll pay for an upgrade at the end, but they're constantly trying to make things better. I need scalability if I'm going to grow rapidly. That's the first thing. I need to counter risk. I must have continuity. I mentioned service, delivery. I must have continuity. That means if a member of my staff goes sick, leaves the company, or decides for whatever reason that they're not so interested in the software, I'm in trouble. Now, I've been to many companies who've done bespoke solutions, and when they have a problem, it's when the person who made it leaves. Because someone comes in and says, I can't understand the code, this is bespoke, I don't understand, it's going to take me as long to work it out as to actually build you something new. I don't want that, that's like almost a disaster in a high growth scenario. So I want the risk thing. I also want support. If I'm going up to 7 figures, 8-figure turnover, having a team of 3 or 4 guys will not do it. I need a corporate level performance, and that comes with off-the-shelf software, with set specialist expert teams I can call in the cloud, right? This solution we were looking at is in the cloud. It's not even something I have to buy and have on site. And that was my opinion. Rapid growing company, yes. Bespoke, I get exactly what I want, but I also get a ton of risk, restrictions on scalability, and no level of support to meet the rapid demand I'm going to get. That's it.